Alright guys, so here's the deal. I wasn't planning on recording here for another hour or so. I was doing some caving, gathering some resources. This is the cave that we kind of looked at for a tiny little bit in the beginning of last episode, right? But I found something that has made me... I've got to record. So I'm down here caving, right? Doing my thing, gathering up resources, and there's a bunch of zombies coming from this direction. So I'm thinking, maybe a zombie spawner, right? So I come up here, place a torch, doing my thing, start to go this way, then I stop, because out of the corner of my eye, I see what appears to be a stronghold. So, the base, this is the cave above our base that we looked at for a little bit in last episode. And I'm down here, and I just happened to stumble upon a stronghold. How freaking lucky is that? And I should mention, I've never found a stronghold, like, naturally just by exploring before. I've always had to find it using Eyes of Ender. So this is pretty darn cool. It's pretty cool that our Stronghold 1 is so close to the base we're going to build, but it's also cool that I just so happened to stumble upon it. I mean, I wasn't not even trying to find the Stronghold. I wasn't intending to really go looking for one for at least another 10 or so episodes, because I'm not ready to do anything in the end yet. So I didn't really have any need for one yet. But it's pretty cool. Stumbled upon it just by chance. So yeah, I figured I pretty much had to start recording with that, because that is pretty cool. And it's really close to our base. And with that in mind, that may affect how we lay parts of the base out. But I'm not sure. I gotta figure out just how close to the area of the dual spider spawners is, because I'm not entirely sure where I am in relation to that at this point. Yeah, I've kind of gotten pretty turned around from that point down here. But yeah, I just thought I would show you guys that. I don't think I'm going to take you through this or anything. Not the whole thing, I just wanted to break in and show you what I found. But you guys know what a stronghold looks like. Every little corridor pretty much looks the same. The only thing we really care about is chests and of course the portal to the end. But yeah, just thought I would start the episode out with that. Anyway, I will be back in just a second when we will do something else. Just one quick note. Very unlucky with the end portal. It has no Eyes of Ender in it, so we're going to need to fill all the slots. So, anyway, I'll be back. Well, this trip is just being very lucrative here. Our first dungeon, Spider Dungeon. Kind of disappointed that's a Spider Dungeon, because, as I've said, can't do great XP farms of Spider Dungeons, but here's the loot. I don't have much room to carry it, unfortunately. So, I'm actually going to unload a bunch of stuff here to empty out my inventory a bit, and I'll come back and pick it back up later. But yeah, just thought I'd show you that. I really wasn't intending on breaking in again on this little adventure, but, as you can see, I am on hard, but the zombies aren't breaking the doors. And from what I understand, they're supposed to break the doors on hard. So I'm guessing a glitch? Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Alright, so I'm finally back from that caving adventure, and those caves are absolutely massive. It's just ridiculous. And I haven't pulled all the items out of the chests I left behind back there. I've got to go back and get them. But I did make note of the coordinates. But as you can see, I am up to 40 levels. So let's go ahead and enchant us another pick and see what we get. Stained vines. I should just cut that tree down. And what is it? What is it? Silk Touch, finally. I do wish it had Unbreaking on it. Actually, wait, do I have an Unbreaking book? No. I got these from Abandoned Mine Shafts, and this one I actually got Fishing. And the other thing I got Fishing is this bow right here, Power 4 and Breaking Free. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, so we're getting a lot of good stuff. Lots of good stuff indeed. I'll keep that on me. So, I guess what we'll do here for this episode is we'll go check out what we want to do, in our base. So I will meet you guys right over there. Alright, so here we are in where our future base will be. Our base work in progress, whatever you want to call it. Haven't done a ton here because I got caught up in that cave. I was in that cave system for 3 hours or so. But I did dig out the pit far enough for him to die. It's like 15 blocks to kill him. I think last time we were working on this I said it took 23 blocks, but not for these guys. I think like 14 or 15 blocks, I can't remember exactly, is enough to kill them. So we are going to... so yeah, that's what I did, and I left enough space to compensate for the hoppers. So let's shut this guy back off for just a moment, so we don't get poisoned here with what we're about to do. We want to take a look at how we need to situate this. So, we've got the dimensions of the room laid out here, but now we need to think about where we want to put the floor. And we're going to put the floor right above this. So our floor will actually be at the level of this block here. And I'm going to leave these blocks in place so that, dang it, that went well. So the spiders can't spawn on top of the spawner and get stuck. And this is my really high-tech way up and down. We're eventually going to end up having to put in an item elevator anyway, so this might be where we put it. I don't know. It'll depend on how we lay everything else out. So let's climb back up here. So anyway, our floor in this area will actually be at the level of this block. So we can actually seal this room in. So what I'll do is I'll just seal it in cobble, because this is all going to be underneath the floor, remember. So we'll build it up with some cobble, like so, and we'll build it all the way up to where the floor will be. Let's knock these torches off so they'll spawn again, and that will make it nice and dark in there once the wall is completed. But we need to put our hoppers in. I need a little bit more iron, but yeah, we'll put in our hoppers. And we said that we're probably going to do our storage room over in that direction a little bit. Was it that way? Yeah. It was somewhere over in here that the storage room was going to be. So we'll have the hoppers output somewhere over here. And we can always reconfigure it a little bit later. But yeah, I'm going to wait for the rest of the iron I need to finish cooking up, and then we will take a look at that. Alright, so I've made the hoppers. So for now, what we're going to do, the direction we said we want for our storage room we think is that way. So for now I'm just going to put a temporary double chest, not like that. Come on. So we're just going to, for now, have it output into a double chest. But this will eventually go into an item elevator all the way to the top, and probably output in the storage room. But now all I have to do is place all our hoppers down here, so that all the wonderful loot these guys drop will go into the hoppers, and that one's going to end up in my chest now. But yeah, we're going to have everything go into the hoppers, and all the loot will now get collected, and it's that simple. It's a simple fall trap. The floor will be on top of the spawner, so it will be active as we walk around in that part of the base, which is good. So we'll be collecting loot quite a bit at the time. And yeah, that's really all there is to this. So I'm going to finish placing these hoppers, and then we will continue on with something else. Alright, so let's just take a look. You can see it working. A little bit of light leaking in from down there from where the chest is. I don't think it's really particularly affecting the spawner. As you can see, it does work. All the loot goes down in there and collects. So that's good, and if I remember at the end of this episode, we'll see what we get from this one spawner, just as we kind of screw around here a bit. This one is still spawning randomly, and I don't understand. The only thing I can think of is maybe because it's dark up there. I don't think that would affect them, but just in case, we're going to seal it up, because I honestly don't know where else they could be spawning. And it's driving me a little bit nuts, because I really do not see where they could possibly spawn there. So I don't know. It kind of boggles my mind a bit. But anyway, let's start thinking about this. So, originally our storage room was going to be back here somewhere. We were going to bust through here, and eventually we would hit a cave. What I didn't take into account, however, is the fact that our floor will actually be, I think it's this level? Where's the down one? I can't remember now. This level, right? Is that 2 above the spawner, or is this 1 above the spawner? Let's see. So there's the spawner. So yeah, our floor will actually be at this level. So that's something I did not take into account when I came up with the placement for the storage room. I just realized this. So let's think here a bit. Where am I? What did I do? I'm trapped now. Okay. Only I could get this lost doing this. There we go. So yeah, our floor is going to be up at this level, which means we still got a lot more digging ahead of us. Which means that we could still put the storage room there if we wanted to step down. Let's see, we are currently at Y37, and this over here steps down even more. So layer 32 is the lowest, so we would need to step down quite a few layers here. A number of layers for that to work. And I'm not sure I'm wild about that idea. Let's see, yeah, I'm not quite sure where the cave is. I'm gonna have to figure that out. So the question I'm asking myself is, do I want to do something like that? Or do I want to maybe go against what I originally said and just kind of dig out my own rooms and not really be so concerned with the shape of the cave? At least not in this part. Because, well, actually, hold that thought. What's up here? What if instead of stepping down, we stepped up? Because this goes into that massive cave system. It goes up pretty far, though. And off that way somewhere is where the stronghold is. So let's see, we are at layer 51. And our floor will be at about, come on, layer 40. So that's 11 steps up. That's not too bad. So we could actually dig this area out a bit and try to meet up with that cave and do our base there, or do like our storage room and stuff up in that part of the cave, and then continue with my original fault of not wrecking the cave too much. So let me do a little bit of digging around and figuring, and let's see if we can't come up with something here. Alright guys, so I think I've got a rough idea of what I want to do here. So here we are on top of our spawner that we just set up, and I dug a little rough staircase here. And if we come up this staircase, and we could build a little platform up here, we're in this cave system that we were talking about just a moment ago. And right across from here, we've got this pretty nice big room already hollowed out. And there's a ton of space in this cave. I mean, just look at that. Okay, this is probably a bad example because it dead ends. But this cave is absolutely huge, and it eventually meets up with the stronghold over here somewhere, I think is where it is. Yeah, somewhere you run around and you eventually get to the stronghold. So that would allow us to possibly implement the end portal into our base, and we've got a pretty nice spot here to do the storage room in. And then we've got a ton of room to branch out, which is really nice. I mean, look at all the space that we've got. And it would allow me to do my original plan of trying to be a little bit more organic in the building of this base by following the shape of the cave a little bit. I mean, in the storage room it'll probably be broken a bit because of what I want to do in the storage room. But I'm thinking this right here is the future side of the storage room, which we may get started on next episode. Maybe next episode's project. I want to do that, and something else I wanted to do this episode, but don't have time because I'm going to be ending this soon. I know it's a little bit shorter episode, but it's really quite late here, and I want to get this rendering so I can get it out. And this is still spawning. I don't get it. But I wanted to add... Oops. No. I wanted to add redstone lamps along here and hook it to a redstone line so I could have turned this on and off. Because something I want to do is, like I said, in this base I want these spawners. I want a mob farm, which, let me get back up here now. In the storage room, I want to have a control panel somewhere. So the mob farm I want to add output into the storage room, and I also want a slime farm somewhere. Now all three of these things interfere with each other, right? The hostile mob cap. So somewhere in the storage room, I'm thinking I'm going to have a wall of switches. And these switches will allow me to switch on and off the various farms. So I could turn off the slime farm or turn off the mob farm or what have you from the storage room. And have, so it'll be kind of like a central command center. So I think that'll be pretty cool. So that's something I want to add to this spider spawner here, because that'll be really simple. So we'll probably do that next episode, and I'm thinking we'll at least get started on the storage room. But yeah, I said we'll see what we got down here. I haven't been around here a whole lot, so I don't expect to have a ton of loot or anything, but a ton of cobble. 47 strain in no time at all. I mean, we've been down here for literally been hanging around here for literally no time at all. And we've already collected 47 strain. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a productive farm. In fact, I'll probably only have to let it run for 6 or so hours, and then I can have it shut off for a very long time before I'll need to turn it on again, I'd say. But anyway, a little bit shorter episode because it is very late here. I want to be getting to bed. I want to get this edited and have it rendering while I go to sleep. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next episode.